bunnies, welcome back. It's me, Jenny. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing awesome. So we have another quick and easy last minute DIY project that I'm going to show you. And I think that I love this idea of this last minute little quick project that we're going to do, which is going to be these gorgeous, beautiful, adorable, super beautiful clothespins. These are awesome to use as maybe like paper clips, or maybe you could clip them to a little baggie. You can clip them to a gift bag. They're awesome to have. If you're a crafty person, you would absolutely love to have some of these beautiful, gorgeous clothespins. And you can also add these to the last project that we did, which was the note cards. This would be awesome to include as a little package in that note card that we did on our last video. So let me show you how are we going to put this together. So simple. All you need are just clothespins. I'm using the Martha Stewart clothespins because I absolutely adore these clothespins. These fluorescent kind of look to these clothespins are just driving me insane. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to use these, but you don't have to. You could really use any clothespin, and you can also paint your clothespins. So, you know, don't feel like you need to go out there and get pretty clothespins. You can always paint them. You can always Sharpie them in. You can always add some fabric, some lace to make them look a little bit different. So we're going to make the ones with the buttons and the ones with the flowers. It's so simple to create, literally. The ones for the flowers, I'm going to use these flowers that I am obsessed over. You guys know I love these flowers from Michaels. I am obsessed with these flowers. If I can use these flowers on every single project, I will literally do it. So I'm going to use one of these gorgeous flowers, and I'm going to add it right in the top of my clothespin, and that's basically it, okay? I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to add my clothespin, my flower to my clothespin, and that's basically it. I mean, it's beautiful. It's such a cute last minute project. If somebody who loves stationery, you're giving this to, they would love it. I think anybody who is a crafty person and love like stationery stuff, or they have like planners and they love to work with the planners, this is a perfect project and idea for them. So look how cute that looks, right? So let's do the one with the button. The one with the button is very simple. What I did here, I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. I have this snowflake that I've been having forever. This is like a wood veneer snowflakes that I got at Michael's a few years ago. I'm going to use this as part of my clothespin decoration. So I'm going to remove the backing of it because we don't need this to be there. And what I'm also going to do is I have these gorgeous vintage buttons that I bought while I was thrift shopping. I mean, pink. Can you say no to this? Of course not. You know, when I saw the pink buttons, I immediately grabbed them, right? So I'm going to use these gorgeous pin buttons, and I'm going to add them to the clothespin, okay? So I simply just added a dab of hot glue right to the top of my clothespin. And I'm going to add my snowflake right over that. And then I'm going to hot glue my button right on top of my snowflake. And the last thing I'm going to do is a little bowl that I'm going to create out of this gorgeous gold rose gold like thread that I got at Target. I'm just going to make a simple little bowl. Nothing fancy. Just a simple little tiny bowl, so we can add it to the center of the button. Okay, that looks about right. Okay. I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to hot glue this bowl right in the middle of my button, okay? And there you have it. How cute is that? See how cute that looks? So simple but so pretty, right? I love it. Okay, perfect. So now, in my mind, the best thing to do is try to wrap this as beautiful and gorgeous as possible. Because these are very simple little last minute projects, you want your projects to look very presentable. I think that is very important. You can literally cook up anything, but if you don't have it well presented, it just doesn't look right. It needs to be well presented in order for what you're doing looks nice and pretty. So let's move this out of the way and let me show you what I have here. So I'm going to use one of these gorgeous handmade cards that we made earlier. This card we created on my last video. I showed you guys how to make note cards as last minute Christmas gifts, and this was one of them. So what I did was I created this card in mind to use these gorgeous pins and add them in here. So if you want to watch or if you want to learn how to create these note cards, just go into my last video. I believe it's like number, I don't know, 7 or 8. I don't really remember. I'll link it at the bottom of this video, and it shows you how to create these simple, easy, last minute note cards. Now, what I did was, all I did to my note card is I took a ruler, okay, and I basically just, on the back of the note card, I basically like measured a little, like maybe like an inch or so. I took my, I mean, you can literally use a correct tools for this, obviously. But you know me, I took my scissor and I basically just went down very carefully and very lightly a few times so I can create myself a crease, okay? Once I did that, I folded my crease, and that's gonna give me that little space right here. You see that? That little space right here, which is gonna help me when I add my clothespin inside my little card. It's gonna give me a little bit of room to play with, okay? That's basically all I did. Another thing that I did was I used my punch and I punched a little hole right in the center of the card right here, making sure that I'm grabbing both the front and the back. And I'm going to show you why we'll do that in a little while, okay? That's all I did to my card. Now, what we're going to do is, how are we going to place these gorgeous pins in here? Very simple and very, very easy. You're going to take an extra paper, maybe even like ribbon, whatever you have, okay? Doesn't really matter. I'm going to use this extra paper right here, which is part of the project that we did. And I'm just going to basically measure, okay, the paper. I'm going to be able to put 3 pins in here and 3 pins down here, which is what I want to do, okay? So here I have this paper, and I think this looks pretty okay like this, okay? So I'm going to cut this roughly around here. And that looks like a good size for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the opposite side of this one, and I'm going to get the same size. Measure it and cut it. And that works perfect, okay? We're going to add one here, and we're going to add one down here. But before we do that, we need to add dimensions to this little strip, because we need to have some kind of space in order for us to add our little clothespins. So you're going to add dimensions on each end of your strip. If you need to cut it in half because the dimensions are too big, then do so. I have to cut mine in half. I'm going to add one in each corner, as close as I can to the corner. Okay, And what we're gonna do is we're going to add our little strip right in one at the bottom and one at the top. Okay, and then the other one's gonna go down here. And that's gonna give us some time to think about how we want our clothespins to look. See that? That's perfect. You should get something like this. Okay? Now we're gonna add our clothespins to this gorgeous little strip. Think about how you want your clothespins to be organized. Remember, we have 3 flowers, okay? And we have 3 of the buttons. So if you want to put the flowers here, you could do that. I think I'm gonna put my flowers in the top. Okay. Just like that. And I'm going to put my buttons in the bottom. But I'm going to put them this way. Now you could, because these are going to kind of bump with each other, you can actually put this one this way so it doesn't like interfere with this one when you put it in. Okay, and we can actually do the same thing with the other one. We'll go back and change that. See that? And then we can put this one here, and this way they won't bump into each other. We can do the same thing with this one if you want, but I think I'm going to leave mine like that. I like the way these 3 look like that. So there you have it. And that is how you're going to present this gorgeous, gorgeous present to someone. Look how pretty that looks. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh my God. Who would not want to receive these beautiful clothespins dressed up like this? I mean, anybody would. Anybody. So now we're going to very easily close this, okay? It's not going to give you a lot of space because I didn't really open my... In other words, if you want this to really be kind of like an open book situation, you would need your